Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. I will be right back in about 20 seconds to intro our show for tonight. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. I am your hostess with the mostest, Hilary of tarotbyhilary.com, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You do indeed have intuition. So, on tonight's episode, this is the first Friday of the month, and we are getting back to our roots, and we are doing an unboxing episode for the deck of the month for my card of the day polls that I post on social media. So, tonight's unboxing and the tarot deck for the month of April is the Marvel Tarot deck from Rizzoli Publishing. And I am borrowing Mr. Tarot by Hilary's deck when I do this. So this was something that I picked up when I was doing a deck haul. And I bought a bunch of Oracle decks, I think a couple of tarot decks, and Mr. Tarot by Hilary was with me, and he was eyeing this and the Marvel Oracle, and two different publishers. So the Marvel Tarot deck and guidebook is from Rizzoli Universe, Rizzoli Publishing. And the Marvel Oracle deck, I believe, is from Sterling. I can't remember if it's Sterling. Oh gosh, or Inside Editions. No, I think it's an Inside Editions deck. So he was looking at both of them, and I was just like, well, okay, give it to me. I'll buy it for you. I'm never going to be unhappy if my husband wants a tarot deck or an oracle deck. In fact, I encourage it. I think sometimes kind of rubs off on our significant others if we happen to be in the business of reading professionally, or have the interest in tarot decks or oracle decks or cartomancy. Like, there is some natural curiosity that comes out. And most of the time it's very periphery. It's not really like wholehearted. But this time he was really looking at the decks. So I'm just like, you know what? I'll get them for you. If you're going to use them, by all means, like let's get them. So he offered up the Marvel Tarot deck for April, and I was just like, yeah, let's see, let's try it out. So you might have already been experiencing some of the card of the day draws, because I did start it off on. Did I start it? April 1st was Tuesday. So we started out using the Marvel Tarot deck for our Choose Your Own Adventure Tarot Tuesday, in which you choose 1, 2, or 3, and then you get your card reveal later on. So we did that. I think a lot of people picked 3. I think I also picked 3, and of course it was like the Ebon Blade or something, the Ebony Blade, something like that, which was like the 10 of Swords, I think, was the corollary to it. But so far this deck is really interesting to me, and it has a specific Marvel lore for each and every card of the 78 cards of the tarot. It's not just majors only. It's not just court cards only. Every single card has a Marvel alignment to it, which I thought was very interesting, and I'm here for it. So we will talk more about that for the unboxing, because I've got it here in my hot little hands. So for the unboxing, I have taken out the major arcana and organized it so we can go through the major arcana. Then we will break for the mid-episode reading, in which one lucky viewer will win a live 3-card reading with me, live on the episode. And then we will do the weekend forecast. But first, we have the astrology from the wonderful AstroBiz Digest. Astrology in layman's terms, straight to your email inbox. It is geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I have found it to be incredibly helpful in planning both my professional life and my personal life. So that is from Teresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady. And the info is right here, thetarotlady.com/AstroBiz Digest if you would like to pick up a subscription for yourself. Also, I do see that Katie is here. Hello to Katie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Katie, I'm sure you've been watching our what to watch next. Mr. Tarot by Hilary has very hard and fast opinions about things. So we've been watching some stuff. So I've been subjecting him to the TV show Roswell that aired from 1999 to 2001, 2002-ish. So it is super late 90s, early 2000s, teen alien sci-fi drama angst. And he made fun of it all the way through. And I subjected him to that. And so I was just like, okay, well, if I'm going to subject you to this, like, it's your turn. Like, you choose now what we're going to watch. And he chose Firefly. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, twist my arm. Oh, yes, this is horrible. How dare you subject me to this? It was more of a palate cleanse. I still think that we need to do a podcast together because I think he's very, very funny. And I want other people to be able to listen to his rants on bad TV shows and movies. I still haven't entirely convinced him. So yeah, tell us what we should we should watch next, because this morning I was watching Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and he was like tearing into it. And I'm just like, can we please just stop? Like, I don't want to hear about, the golden ticket winners being the analogy or metaphor for the 7 deadly sins. Can we just not do this? Can we not? Katie says, all the teen desires for a guy from the stars. Yes, exactly. Oh gosh, Roswell was really interesting, but let's see if maybe he wants to watch the remake of it, which is not a hard reboot that came out a couple of years ago, where it's just like they aged them up, so now they're all adults, and it's like a different Liz and a different Max Evans, and it's interesting. It's interesting. I don't know if he'd necessarily like it, so. All right, astrology. Let's go. So starting out first with the fact that Mercury is still in retrograde and Venus is still in retrograde. That is definitely going on. I usually get out of Mercury retrograde relatively unscathed, but last weekend I popped a tire. I had to get it replaced. It was peak Mercury in Gatorade. So usually I'm pretty good at, navigating Mercury retrograde fuckery, but this time, no, that was my Mercury retrograde story. So yeah, so newsletter is going to go out this weekend too, most likely, and I've got a bunch of email readings that I have to do as well. Katie says, oh, I haven't seen the age version of Roswell. I mean, like, try it out, see. So the actors that play the 3 aliens, so one of them, I'm not going to be able to remember the actor's name, but he was in General Hospital. He played Ethan in General Hospital. So that's the reason why I watched it, because I was just like, oh, I kind of have a thing for him. And then who plays his sister, Isabel, is actually Christine Baranski's daughter, which I didn't realize that the actress that plays Izzy in the reboot is Christine Baranski's daughter, and now I can't unsee it. Like, it's just like, it's so obvious now that I know, but I didn't know before. So, and I can't remember who plays Michael, but it's super interesting. And like, Michael is bi in this. And I think he goes for both Alex and Maria. What else? Liz Parker is Liz Ortega, and she has a sister. They do own the diner, but it's like more, commentary on aliens, and aliens in the sense of like illegal aliens. So there's a little bit of that dynamic going on. It's interesting. I don't know. I mean, like, I didn't see it all the way through. I think I only watched the first 2 seasons. But yeah, check it out. I think it is on, not sure if it's on Netflix still, but I did watch it on Netflix when I watched it a couple of years ago. So try it, see if you like it. All right, so back to the astrology. So Mercury is still retrograde. Venus is still retrograde. Mercury, I believe, goes direct next week, but let's take a look. So, yes. So Venus is retrograde until April 12th. Curb your spending, set boundaries, be mindful of your PR. And Mercury is retrograde until April 7th. So that would be Monday. Back up your computer, slow down, anticipate delays, watch your words, and avoid signing contracts or buying new tech gear. Other than that, the cosmos is quiet this week. In fact, there's not even one aspect to report on for Monday. Read on and let's rock out. So, Friday, Moon is in Cancer all day, so use this vibe to take care of your office, community, and self. Saturn sextiles Uranus at 12:21 p.m. and casts a favorable glow over the entire weekend for group activities. If you're attending an event, teaching, or networking, you're in luck. You can make serious connections. Mars moves into favorable angles with the Saturn-Uranus sextile at 7:05 p.m., adding resourcefulness, hustle, and discipline into the next 3 days. You can get so much done and forge exciting new relationships. Be careful when the moon squares the sun at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The public is cranky and the egomaniacs are loud. Quiet activities with cool folks equals a better plan. So I did watch Teresa's Tarot Tangents and Tarot Tangents and Transits this morning on IG. And she mentioned about that transit at 10:15 p.m. Public is cranky, egomaniacs are loud. She mentioned it more as like being really, really thin-skinned and not being able to take a joke, taking things like way too personally, making it all about them. Like, that's the kind of egomania she was describing in this morning's IG Live. So I did want to mention that particularly because she mentioned it in the AstroBiz Digest. She also mentioned it on the live. So it's just like, I plan on being in bed at that time. Like, I'm not messing around with that. Yes, that's possible, Katie. I was wondering if Mercury might have been near your sun in Aries when you had all of that fun last weekend. It is quite possible. I'm going to have to look back and see. And it was a Sunday. It was Sunday morning. I can pinpoint exactly when it happened. So, yeah, I'll have to look back and see. So sometimes this astrology stuff can be way, way, way literal. Okay, so today, Friday, April 4th, is a power day for Cancer and a weekday for Capricorn. Now, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday finds the moon in a square with Chiron at 10:56 a.m., an aspect that tends to bring out the walking wounded. Some people may be itching for drama then. Don't give them the satisfaction. The moon will be at a harmonious angle to the Uranus-Saturn-Mars configuration starting at 3:20 p.m., which means the afternoon will be dynamite for networking or group activities. The love fest continues when the moon trines Venus at 4:36 p.m. Keep on making those connections. It will pay off. Opt for quiet time when the moon trines Mercury and stations void at 6:54 p.m. A good book with a glass of wine will end your Saturday perfectly. Sunday begins with a bang when the moon sips into Leo at 12:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This blesses the day with creativity and pizzazz. It's ideal for marketing, public speaking, presentations, fun events, and putting on a show. The Sun-Jupiter sextile at 5:44 a.m. is lovely for leadership, travel, publishing, or big business risks. That aspect lingers for 24 hours. Take your chances and expand your horizons. Be careful of big mouths and power mongers when the moon opposes Pluto at 7:19 a.m. This is not the time to tangle with an egomaniac or high maintenance types. Venus trine Mars at 8:13 a.m. elevates creativity and cash attraction vibes for 3 days. Hustle hard, make art, and market like you mean it. Ka-ching. So Saturday is a power day for Cancer and a weekday for Capricorn, as is Friday. And Sunday is a power day for Leo and a weekday for Aquarius. So all of that being said, now is the time that I like to open up the floor for whether you were having a weird day on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. Anything that I have not already covered in the Astro Biz Digest, please go ahead and ask in the chat. And I will take a peek at the Astro Biz Digest for you to see if there was an astrological reason why for the weirdness. Now, probably no one's going to really say Monday was weird for me because there were no big cosmic things happening on Monday, like at all. It was very, very chill on Monday. And that's exactly what I needed to be able to go fix my tire. Thank goodness. I was very, very happy about that when I read about that earlier in the week. I'm just like, let's see, like, please. While we're waiting for that, I'm going to take a look at last weekend and see if there was an astrological why for last weekend, Sunday morning. So this week was that. That's this week. There it is. Good to know. Yeah. So solar eclipse happened on the 29th, which I believe was on the Saturday. Am I wrong about that? Yeah, the solar eclipse was on the Saturday. Sunday has a lot going on. Moon squares Mars, stations void, long void moon. Neptune entered Aries 8 a.m. Neptune entering Aries. Let's look at that. Dream spirituality and intuition. In fiery Aries, you can find the courage to go after your dreams. Trust your vision and pursuing your ideals. Keep your feet on the ground. The last thing you want to do is chase unrealistic goals. Well, I will say that that flat tire definitely grounded me in reality. So Katie says, I have had a lot happen on Wednesday evening, early Thursday. Lots of people making connections. So Wednesday and Thursday. Loading. So Wednesday, Moon Sun sextile. Moon Sun sextile 2:20 p.m. Fantastic for PR. Attract new folks into your orbit. Moon conjuncts Jupiter at 7:25 p.m. pitch publishers or send proposals. Perfect timing for travel, PR, or business risks. Power day for Gemini, and weekday for Sagittarius. And Thursday was shitty. Let's see. Yes, Thursday was shitty. Actually, that was very, very true. Moon square Saturn, 9:52 a.m. Venus at 12:37 p.m. Mercury at 2:25 p.m. Squaring. So, and then moon void. So it's a lot. And then moon Neptune square, 7:07 p.m. Competing with disinformation and propaganda. Yeah, no, that sounds accurate. So more on Wednesday than on Thursday. I feel like Wednesday was like go go go, and Thursday was just like stop, hard stop, do not pass go, do not collect $200. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. Thankfully, I got it done by then. I was trying to avoid stuff by then. Exactly, and that's the reason why um I start the episodes, every episode, with the astrology from the Astrobiz Digest, because, knowing is helpful. I mean, like, yes, okay. The the popped tire incident of last weekend is typical Mercury in retrograde shit, because Mercury affects travel, technology, and communication. So, getting a flat tire during Mercury retrograde is like chef kiss, perfect. Perfect example of Mercury retrograde. However, knowing that, and knowing that it happens all the time, you're working with the energy instead of against the energy. And for what happened the next day, astrologically, it was a very smooth sailing. So I was very protected in when it happened, what happened. And, we weren't on a highway when it happened. We were local to my house. I was able to park my car and then take care of it the next day. So all in all, knowing the astrology and knowing how to work with the energy that's coming up is only for the good. And it can help you manage those pitfalls when they do happen, because they will happen occasionally. So, yeah, Wednesday was very go go. Mm-hmm. All right. I don't know if I necessarily like this drink or not. So I attempted to make myself a dry Manhattan, which worked. But the reason I say dry Manhattan is because I only had dry vermouth in and not sweet vermouth. I think I do prefer it with sweet vermouth. So, but it looks nice and fancy, guys, right? Look. Uh-huh. I got myself cocktail picks. I got myself the cherry, very, very fancy. I left a mess in the kitchen. I'll clean it up later. But cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. Mercury will be direct soon, as will Venus. So Mercury will be direct just in time for my birthday, which is on Tuesday. So. Oh, and that's why I have water here too. Ooh. All right. Let us move on to the main event of tonight's episode, which is unboxing the Marvel Tarot Deck and Guidebook. It is from Rizzoli Publishers. Art by Lily McDonnell and text by Cindy Barwick. Published in, I think, 2023. Yes, 2023. This is a lavishly illustrated tarot deck and guidebook featuring newly commissioned artwork of the Marvel Comics canon. Marvel Comics, not Marvel Cinematic Universe, Marvel Comics. Okay. So you'll recognize these characters, but it's more comic book based than movie based. And for every one of the major arcana, you have the interpretation for the upright, the reverse, and you also have a quote from the comic book that encapsulates both the character and the tarot energy. So, oh, thank you so much, Katie. Happy birthday for Tuesday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, we have a telescoping box, I guess. Got a little zhuzh on the side. Look how that's designed. Very nice. We stand for good box design. So there you go. Inside you've got stars. Okay. And we're gonna open this up, and you've got stars in the base too. Okay, and I have separated out the majors and the minor arcana. Minor arcana is already shuffled because I shuffled it before because I've started using it already. Let me go ahead and plug in my phone while I'm sitting here broadcasting because I know she getting low. Okay, good. Yes. So Katie says, I really liked the Emperor when you had it for the daily draw. So that was the true first, I think, daily draw that I did because our first draw was the Choose Your Own Adventure Tarot Tuesday. But I think yesterday was the Emperor. Today was the Ace of Swords reversed, which I believe was Excalibur. But yeah, the Emperor was Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards. So I feel like this is going to be a fun deck. I do too. And it actually is making me itch to read some of these comics. Now, I do have, I don't know if I would necessarily consider myself like a big comic book nerd, but I've definitely read some stuff. I feel like I might be more familiar with comics than my husband. And fun fact, actually, our first wedding anniversary. So the gift for each anniversary is different. So for a year, I believe is paper. So in honor of our year anniversary, we went to the comic book store and we bought comic books for each other. That was our way of celebrating the year milestone of being married to each other. Was comic books for paper. So I believe he bought me some Moon Knight. And Moon Knight is definitely in this deck. I believe the Moon card is Moon Knight. I love Moon Knight, one of my favorite comic book characters. But prior to us getting married, I feel like I was more into comics than he was. Not like hugely, but I do have a little bit more background knowledge in comic books. So, yeah. And the fact that this is the Marvel comics and not the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I feel like it's going to get me itching to read more comic books again. So I believe his favorite is Ghost Rider. Shocking absolutely no one. So we have the guidebook here. Guidebook is nice and small but mighty. And we have the major arcana, the minor arcana, the introduction, which is the door. So this is from actually, from Fantastic Four, issue 23, the 2011 run. Franklin Richards, the door is more than it appears. It separates who you are from who you can be. You do not have to walk through it, you can run. And we've got the traditional associations. So we've got wands, cups, swords, and coins. They have not been renamed in this deck. Same thing with the court cards: king, queen, knight, and page, not renamed. You've got ace to 10. Minor arcana represents our everyday experiences, highs and lows, struggles and triumphs. And the major arcana showcase a Marvel character on each card, representing a universal archetype or theme, major principles, and life changing situations. It represents a facet of our lives, telling a story of mythical proportions. It is an overarching hero's journey, our own, our own. Beginning with the naive fool, card number 0, who strikes out on the adventure knowing nothing, and culminating in the wholeness and enlightenment of the world, and the cycle begins again. So they have, and then they have a little bit of discussion of the suits, and they have a quote for each of them. Of course, for the suit of wands, they have flame on from Johnny Storm and the Human Torch. For cups, they actually have a quote from Squirrel Girl, which is not as well known. I know there is like this rumor, this petition that people really want Anna Kendrick to play Squirrel Girl in the MCU or some kind of live action. Um, so that's Suit of Cups. Suit of Swords is Thor talking about um, Thunder's Call, and the Suit of Coins, it's simply I am Groot, so the earth element. So same associations apply for wands. For wands, fire. For cups, water and emotions. For swords, intellect, mind, and air. And for coins, it's the earth. It's grounded, financial, material world. And it does have tarot spreads, which usually come last in a guidebook, but this actually is coming first. Hawkeye's guided straight shooter pull, so that would just be the one card reading. Uatu, the Watchers determine your own path spread, which is a past, present, and future spread, but lined up a little bit differently. The Ancient One star spread. One Above All's Infinity Super Spread. So that's from Ultimates, which I'm not as familiar with. And now we move into the major arcana. So let's go through the major arcana in turn. So you've got a quote, you've got a general meaning, you've got the upright meaning, and the reverse meaning for each and every card of the major arcana. So, are we ready? Are we ready? Give me a hell yeah in the chat if you're ready to explore the majors. And does anyone possibly have any guesses as to who the fool might be in this deck? All right. Katie says, yeah, let's do it. All right. I think I'm going to finish this off before I start, because this is strong, guys. No idea on the Fool. Okay, I will show you. I don't know if that cherry is going to make this taste better or worse. We'll see. I'm not sure. Ooh. Mm-mm. Okay, so our first card, the Fool, is Deadpool. The Merc with a Mouth, Deadpool, Wade Wilson. Yeah. I'm chuckling here at your comments about the drink. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that again. As dry, I mean, I do like dry vermouth, um, but not with, not in a drink that I usually drink as sweet. It just happened to be out of sweet vermouth. So good to know. Good information to have, right? So the Fool, Deadpool, Wade Wilson. The Magician is Doctor Strange. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Mr. Tarot by Hilary looked through these too, and he's just like, of course it's Deadpool. He loved the fact that it was Deadpool. So Magician, Doctor Strange, Stephen Strange, the High Priestess, which I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of options for the High Priestess, but in this deck it is Storm, Aurora Monroe. And I also have a little bit of like I don't know. Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, is the Empress. And so if the Empress is Sue Storm, then of course the Emperor, which we had yesterday, I believe, is Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards. The Hierophants. Oh, wait, no, Lovers. Yeah, hold on. Yep, no, the Hierophant. Hierophant first. Jeez. Yes, I know my numbers. I know my major arcana. The Hierophant is Professor X, Charles Xavier. Yes, exactly. That was my thought. I mean, maybe it'll become more clear, or I'll agree with it more as we go. But like right now, I'm like Doctor Strange, obvious, but Storm, yeah, not convinced. So the Lovers is Spider Man and Mary Jane. Kind of cute. The Chariot is Captain America, but Sam Wilson, the Falcon, as Captain America. Now, keep in mind, I do have the book here, so if these cards come up during the course of doing card of the day polls over the month of April, I'm definitely going to be referring to the guidebook, especially when I'm like really, like Captain America is the Chariots, like Falcon Captain America is the Chariot, but in the guidebook here it says Sam Wilson, Captain America, personifies the chariot, the inner and outer warrior, strength of body and mind, triumph in the face of all obstacles and resistance, ready to fight for what's right for others, for the cause, for the country, for a noble idea. overcoming conflicts in the face of all odds. In that case, yeah, I get it. Yeah, nice lover's card. Peter Parker and Mary Jane, MJ. Keep on skipping over pages here. So the strength card is not the Hulk, but She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters. Strength is typically thought of as brute force, but She-Hulk muscled her way into your pull today to say, hey, not so fast. She's the epitome of strength, control of your mind and emotions for forward momentum. Right, exactly. Chariot described like that fits. Yeah, it's a good guidebook. At least from what I've seen so far. It's like make people like make these comic book nerds care about tarot. That's the way to do it, right? So the Hermit card is the Silver Surfer, Norn Rad. The Hermit, like the Silver Surfer, keeps their own counsel in pursuit of knowledge, wisdom, and introspection. Makes sense. The Wheel of Fortune. Oh wait, I misquoted my husband because I was just like his favorite is Ghost Rider. Well, I don't know. I think this guy might have something to say about that. He really likes Gambit too, and Gambit is the Wheel of Fortune in this deck. Remy LeBeau. Take a chance, roll the dice, spin the Wheel of Fortune, try your luck. Shuffle those cards. Makes a lot of sense. Yes, that's true too. Well, Strength mostly has a woman on it in other decks, so that works. Yep. And here's another one that really works. Daredevil, Matt Murdock as the Justice card. Don't even have to go to the guidebook for that one. I get it. I'm fine with it. Another card that I'm really fine with, the Hanged Man, is the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes. Makes sense. Right? Perfect Justice choice. I agree with you. I don't think it could have been anyone else in the Marvel comics. So the Death card in this deck is Phoenix, Jean Grey as Phoenix. Don't fear the Death card. If you pulled Phoenix, Jean Grey, change awaits, embrace it, and nurture the new. That makes sense too. So this character I don't know as much about because I never saw the movie, and I never read the comic books. But it's Temperance is Shang-Chi. But I'm sure it makes sense. This has a little bit of the Universal Monsters tarot deck vibe to it, where it's just like I'm sure that makes sense though. So like I might be a little bit ignorant here. Yeah, I'm actually fairly impressed so far with the character choices. And the fact that it's not just the major arcana, I think is very impressive as well. Like the minor arcana also has a facet of the Marvel comics to it as well. Like, for example, the Ten of Swords was I think, the Ebony Blade. The Ace of Swords is Excalibur, and not Excalibur in the Camelot sense, but more Excalibur in the Marvel comic sense. So I think one of them was like the Elektra's sides. So it's the theme is extended out through the minor arcana, because most of the time with these kinds of decks, the minor arcana are basically pip cards. They're not illustrated. They don't really have much to go on. So it makes someone that is more of a beginner tarot reader, makes it very hard for them. In this case, I feel like each of the 78 cards has some association with the Marvel universe that you can pull from, instead of just having like two wands on a blank background. Yes. Yeah. I agree. It does remind me of that monsters deck. Yeah. So Temperance. Okay. The Devil. My guy Loki. Loki Laufeyson. God of Mischief. Makes total sense. The Tower is Galactus. I'm down with this. Galactus is the destroyer and consumer of worlds. That's Tower. That's the Tower. The Star is Photon, aka Monica Rambeau. Yes. Exactly. Absolutely had to be Loki. Yeah. So the Star is Monica Rambeau, aka Photon. Whether known as Photon, Pulsar, Spectrum, or Captain Marvel, Rambeau emits some of the brightest light in the universe. So that's from Captain Marvel. Here's my guy, Moon Knight, Mark Spector. Now, I have to do this to you guys. I'm sorry, I have to, because I did this to my husband, but I read this out loud to him because I'm just like, this is Moon Knight. This is why I love Moon Knight. So the quote is from Moon Knight, issue 2 from the 2021 run. This is actually one of the one of the reasons I love Moon Knight is because of the wonderful writing that goes along with it. My brain is moon silvered, lunatic, cratered with a god's fingerprints. The deep structures of my mind have been irreversibly changed by communion with an ultra-terrestrial intelligence. This is my poisoned ground. This is my temple. But I take my weaknesses and turn them to my advantage. I take my scars and make of them my weapons. Moon Knight is a badass. The Sun is Ms. Marvel, Kamal Khan. Good. And her quote is from issue number 5 of the Ms. Marvel 2014 run. Good is not a thing you are, it's a thing you do. Judgment is Black Panther, T'Challa. And then finally, the World is Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. Wholeness, completion, journey that reaches its conclusion. As a woman from two worlds, Carol Danvers only becomes whole when she integrates her human and Kree side, the superhero and the mortal side, and becomes stronger because of it. So there you go, guys. That is the major arcana of the Marvel Tarot. Very cool. Very cool. Are there any particular cards that you wanted to see? Like, I know sometimes we want to take a look at the Queen of Pentacles or the Queen of Wands or the Three of Swords or various other cards. So we can do that now if you'd like. Yeah, a reversal of the usual sexes used for the sun and moon. Yes. Yet they extend our attitudes of what those cards can mean, change the energy of those cards in a good way. I agree. Yeah. Because usually the sun card is more masculine and the moon card is more feminine. And in this case, it's flipped. Because we've got the sun as Kamala Khan and we've got the moon as Moon Knight. Great majors, yeah. So I'm shuffling them up right now. And I'm going to integrate them back into the deck. Now, earlier today, I did get a reversal, and I did not remember if I had put reversals into the deck. So I'm like, what the heck is happening here? Yes. Okay. So I usually love the Queens, please, especially the Wands and the Pentacles. All right. Let me see if I can find them. If not in the cards themselves, I can definitely do it in the guidebook. So, and 10 of Cups as well. Okay. So, 10 of Cups I just pulled right from it. So 10 of Cups looks like he's from Deadpool. I don't know if you can see him. So the 10 of Cups is Jeff, the land shark. Happiness, harmony, and having it all is what the 10 of Cups holds. Jeff, the land shark, shows that true fulfillment only happens when shared with family and friends. Jeff loves Gwenpool and Deadpool, completely dedicated to his team and adopted home. This little guy swims in a pool of positivity, shining with satisfaction from having everything he ever wanted. Be grateful for the good in your life. He's really cute. He's really a cute little guy. So that's the 10 of Cups. Let's see. So the Queen of Coins is Black Cat / Felicia Hardy. She's hot. The Queen of Swords is Electra Nachiotes. That's definitely comic book Electra. Yes. Even though it's a land shark from Deadpool. Sounds like a full of love card. That works. Let's see who else. Queen of Cups is Squirrel Girl, aka Doreen Green. I'm not that familiar with Squirrel Girl. And then Queen of Wands. I don't know either. Ironheart, Riri Williams. So, I know. Queen of Swords, Electra being the Queen of Swords. And by the way, okay, so another thing. I love bad movies. I know that they're bad, but they're so bad they're good. One of my favorite comfort bad movies to watch is Electra. I know it's not a good movie. I know it's crap. It's terrible. I love it though. You can judge me all you want to. It's fine. Oh, awesome. I have a friend who loves Squirrel Girl. He'd be so happy. Yes, she's here. She's in it. among other people too. So we have the court cards that are like other Marvel characters that didn't make it, I guess, into the major arcana, but they're still there. They're still represented. And then the minor arcana pip cards, Ace through 10, are, you know, oh, there he is. There's Jeff the Land Shark. Speaking of, but like for example, the Three of Coins, it's like the X-Men logo. There's Elektra right there. Elektra was good. I love the actors in it. Well, you're kind. It's not. You don't have to lie. You can say that you enjoyed it, but I don't think it was necessarily a good movie. And by the way, at the beginning of the movie, the man that she sent to kill, that she sent to assassin, I think that's Jason Isaacs. I'm pretty sure that's him, like sitting in the chair, like contemplating his fate, and he's like drinking a glass of whiskey or something, or a glass of scotch, and he like sees her reflection in the glass, and she murders him, whispers in his ear, and then like all of a sudden he's dead. Like, that's Jason Isaacs. So it's got like, I think it's got Terrence Stamp in it as well as Stick, and Goran Vishnik. Oh, yeah. It's like, I love that movie. It's not a good movie, but I love it. All right. Do we want to do the mid-episode reading with these cards and see how they play? I know. I like Jennifer Garner a lot. Actually, maybe we should put an Alias into the rotation, even though we did watch it together, and we already watched it from the beginning. So like, I feel like I don't know if Mr. Tarot by Hilary is willing to go through all of that all over again. We did recently watch Revenge all over again, and I love that too. 4 seasons. Emily Van Camp. Josh Bowman, and oh gosh, Madeline Stowe. I don't know if I could subject him to that for another time. It's like, we just did that. So we also have to watch Daredevil Born Again. We have to go back for some of the Marvel television shows, I think. Oh, really? According to Wiki, Jason Isaacs is uncredited. It's definitely him, though. See, it's such a bad movie that he didn't want to be credited in it. Another thing that we need to watch is White Lotus. Speaking of Jason Isaacs. All right, we have shuffled. Do we want to do mid-episode reading, or do we just want to do the weekend forecast? Because I think it's just, Katie, I think it's just you and me, kid. So it's up to you. Yeah, I don't have access to all these movies, but you should go through them, definitely. Okay, let's just do the weekend forecast and wrap it up. So, do we want to pull from this? Actually, I think the weekend forecast should also be a, like, what do we need to know about working with this deck this month? even though we've started working with this deck this month. You could. We can do that too. Up to you. So what exactly is the question, Katie? I don't mind doing a reading on it. Is that all you want me to know? All right. Will the neighbor give me back my land and not cause an issue with the fence that needs to go up between us and not overcharge me for things that I shouldn't be charged for? Okay, so one card is coming out here, so I'm going to take a look at that. Okay. Okay, so we have... Yeah, I think you've been... it's almost like you've been too nice. So let's take a look. You're getting the 9 of coins. You're getting the Temperance card smack in the middle, which again is Shang-Chi, which I'm not as familiar with, but I am familiar with the Temperance card and what it means. So it is that card of balance and healing, right? And then you're getting the 5 of Wands. So I'm not hugely thrilled that the 5 of Wands is coming up as like the final outcome. But I'm not surprised that the Temperance card is coming up, because to me, there's that give and take energy. But sometimes, in the spirit of keeping the peace, we bend over backwards more than we want to, and we get taken advantage of. So that's kind of what I'm sensing right here. So 9 of coins is about... it's going to be different than how I normally interpret it because of it being the Marvel deck. So here's the 9 of coins, which I believe is Black Panther's necklace. So going to the guidebook for that one. So it's like almost like defending, needing to defend, which makes sense for what you're asking. So coins. So yeah, Black Panther's claw necklace. Yes, I see what you're saying, Katie. I'm trying to be as forgiving about the color they want, but I really want my land back. I'm trying not to be taken advantage of. Right, exactly. So 9 of coins. Your life is crowned with abundance. Black Panther's life in Wakanda provided him everything he needed: family, wealth, and security. Wakanda's independence and self-sufficiency brought happiness to Black Panther as well as those living within the country. If you pulled this card, revel in the joy and freedom financial and familial security brings. So that's basically something that you are trying to bring back. It's just like you worked hard and your family worked hard. And it's just like you're just asking for what was already yours to begin with. So I think you can take a little bit of a harder stance. That's just me. having it be Black Panther's claw necklace. It's not a usual interpretation of the Nine of Coins, or the Nine of Pentacles. Usually, you've got the woman in the garden. It's lush, it's fertile, it's glorious, it's abundant. She's got the bird of prey on her arm. But to me, this is way more about protecting what's yours. So I would say, there is a peace. I'm going to say it. There's a peace to be had after war. There's a peace to be had after discord. So, you fight the fights that need fighting. So, Temperance. Right. I'm prepared to stand firm, but I don't want to have to go to court, but I will if I have to. So I'm not seeing court, though. I'm not seeing the justice card. I'm not seeing Matt Murdock coming up. So I don't think it's come to that yet. I'm not going to say never, but I'm not seeing that right now. So with the Temperance card coming up, I do not seek power. I seek only peace. Shang-Chi, Masters of Kung Fu, 1974, issue 28. If Shang-Chi presents himself today, he asks for patience, moderation, and balance. Staying calm under pressure is hard, but within that calm lies the ultimate control over yourself and any situation. Moderation balances the mental, spiritual, and physical, working together in harmonious alignment. Do you crave power or yearn for peace? By bringing balance to yourself, you not only stabilize a situation, but assist others. Patience, calm, and harmony allow quiet power to engulf you. Like Shang-Chi, utilize the balancing life force to alleviate any fears, letting doubt and disquiet flow around you, but not affect you. Easier said than done, I know. And then finally, the Five of Wands, which is the Zodiac key, which I'm not familiar with, but I guess we'll find out. The Zodiac key embodies conflict, clashes, competition, and chaos wielded by the Five of Wands. Perhaps the key's unresolved struggle between good and evil is at play. Conflict exists within and without. Lock your ego away. Really listen to diffuse and transform turmoil. Question yourself and others, analyze what's being said, and communicate using your head and heart. Communication is the key to resolving the conflict, which I think you've been already doing. Like, it's not, I don't think it's necessarily all about communication here. Zodiac key. Zodiac key is sentient, apparently. I'm going to look up what the Zodiac key means because I am not familiar with that. Originated in another world called the Ankh dimension, where conflict, especially between the forces of good and evil, in which neither side entirely and permanently defeats the other. Mystical object created by the Brotherhood dimension. That's from Earth 616. Conflict. Oh, Zodiac key originated in another world called the Ankh dimension, where conflict, especially between the forces of good and evil, in which neither side entirely and permanently defeats the other, is prized above all else. That definitely feels very Five of Wandsy. So it's like making sure that there is no conflict for conflict's sake, which I think you've already been doing, but it feels like your neighbors are more addicted to the drama, as it were, addicted to the conflict, as it were. So just keep that in mind. Center with the Temperance card. Yeah, that's definitely me. Temperance, trying to stay that way. Peace, that's good. That card is quite hopeful for me. So yeah, center the reading and center the message on the Temperance card, because that's like, if you control, like, the only thing you can control is yourself. You can't control the outside forces, and especially with the Five of Wands coming up, it's just there's drama here, there's conflict here for conflict's sake alone. Especially with learning about the zodiac key and what it means and where it came from in the Marvel comic universe. So but having the Black Panther's claw necklace, it's just like there's only so far the peace can be kept, before you become a doormat or before you have to bend over so much that you break. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. You're very welcome. Ooh, this is a fun deck, guys. I like it. And it's possible that it's not just a kitschy themed deck. You can actually do readings with this deck. You gotta get a lot of information. So, all right. Mid-episode reading done and complete. And let us pull a card. Yes, Five of Wands feels like the passion and emotions about it. I would cling to the first two cards. Yes. Cling to the first two cards, but keep the last card in mind. All right. So just a reminder that we do this every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on different metaphysical and divination topics. So please hit the bell, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of upcoming episodes. If you have suggestions for what you would like to see on the live stream, any topics you'd like me to cover, just let me know. I would love to be able to do that for you guys. So let us do, where is the weekend forecast? And of course, if you would like to book a reading with me, tarotbyhilary.com. I do tarot readings, I do tapping sessions, I do both. I do tarot tutoring. If you want a more in-depth reading than Card of the Day forecast can provide, you can book a reading with me on my website. All right, weekend forecast. I can't remember what we did for the last weekend forecast. I know I should be keeping a pile. I'm aware, but I didn't, and I haven't. So, c'est la vie. Actually, let's pull an oracle card from the Marvel Oracle. Keeping with this theme, I'm gonna have to run and go get it though. So I'll be right back. Hey, honey. No. No Ronan and no She-Hulk. No whammies. So my husband says, here's the Oracle deck. We are not doing the unboxing of this, at least not tonight, from Insight Editions, which is a different publisher than the Marvel Tarot deck. But this is the Magic of Marvel Oracle deck from Insight Editions. And so we're going to do the weekend forecast from this. And my husband was just saying, give him Ronan. And I'm just like, give him She-Hulk. Because the other day he pulled Ronan the Accuser. And it was a very accurate reading for him. And then I was just like, all right, pull a card for me. And he pulled She-Hulk for me. And yes, She-Hulk does appear in the tarot deck, but she also appears in the Oracle deck. And it's a little bit of a different interpretation. So, yeah. Katie says, yes, more Marvel. Yes, more Marvel. So hopefully no whammies, no Ronan the Accuser or She-Hulk tonight. Let's go with, and this came out in 2022, and it won't tell me how many cards it is. Definitely less than 78. It's not telling me. Probably around like 40, 44. Hold on, I can tell from the back. 44. And here's the backs. A little bit thinner cardstock than I would like, but that's all right. So what do we need to know for this weekend? Besides all of the astrology that you guys got at the beginning of the episode. Yes, probably for May, unless I get another oracle deck or another tarot deck that needs reviewing. I might do an unboxing of this for May, or not. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be an unboxing for a deck of the month. I just like to do an unboxing before I use it as a deck of the month for card of the day polls. That's kind of like my jam or my routine now, as it were. But I can definitely do more unboxings if you guys want it. I do have a couple of decks that should be winging my way, but like I'm afraid that someone stole the package. I should be getting a review copy of the Tarot Disassembled Tarot Deck and Guidebook. I should be getting a copy of Gwendolyn Womack's new book, at least an advanced reader copy of it. There was another one. I feel like there was another Oracle deck that somebody asked me to review. So it's been a lot. I love it. I think it's great. I'm just like, oh wow, people are like, this is what I always dreamed of when I started doing tarot professionally. It's just like, oh, people want me to review their deck. Like, this is fantastic. But the problem is, like, I need to actually receive it. Don't steal a witch's packages. How about that? All right, what do we need to know for this weekend? Ooh, Dr. Doom, guys. Maybe I was putting too much energy into please stop stealing my packages, or else you get the Dr. Doom. Yeah, unboxing introduction for the deck of the month. Yes, right. So, Dr. Doom, control at all costs. So let's go to the guidebook. So, Dr. Doom, control at all costs. Like Dr. Doom, you might think that the tighter your grip, the less you will lose. But nothing could be further from the truth. Doom commands the reading when your vanity triumphs over your intelligence, creating rifts where there should be harmony. You may be in a situation where you need to apologize, atone for mistakes, and make peace with the competition, or you may want to consider a more flexible approach. I'm going to do the third option. I'm going to try and consider a more flexible approach. Yeah, exactly. Bad karma to steal a witch's packages. You betcha. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight in unboxing the Marvel Tarot deck. We will be doing card of the day polls from this deck all month long. So please make sure that you're following me on social media, all different platforms. Tarot by Hilary is my handle on most of those, including here on the Tube of You and the Book of Face. And you can always go to my website, tarotbyhilary.com, and I have all of my social media platforms and the icons up on the top navigation, so you can click on them, go and find out your card of the day forecast. Now, remember, when I do card of the day, I try and be a little bit more timey-wimey, loosey-goosey. It's not going to be a home run every single day. So the way I like to phrase it is, if this card is coming up in your feed, its message may be for you. So if you feel that it's resonant, by all means, that's your reading. If you don't feel it's resonant, then it's not your reading. So take what works for you and discard the rest. Like, that's how I like to phrase things when I'm doing like a reading for the collective. So Thank you all so much for watching. Please follow me on social media so we can check out the tarot, the Marvel Tarot together over the month of April. And if you would like a longer reading with me, you can do so at tarotbyhilary.com. Katie says, thank you. Have a wonderful weekend and birthday week, Hilary. Thank you so much. Thank you. I will be turning 44, I think. 44. The big 4-4 in the 4th month of April. So that will be on Tuesday. I might do a live stream on Tuesday. I don't know. I might do a surprise pop-up something in honor of my birthday. But if not, I will see you next Friday, same bat time, same bat channel, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Tube of You and the Book of Face. Thank you all so much for watching. Once again, I am Hilary, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. Have a fabulous, fabulous night and a fabulous weekend, and I will see you on Friday next week. Bye.